This is how this 18-year-old girl made a decision that destroyed her entire life. Her name is Suzanne. She is 18 years old when this story begins. She is living in São Paulo, Brazil. Suzanne comes from a very rich family. She lives with her parents in a huge house in one of the most expensive areas in São Paulo. Her family has millions of dollars in assets. They send their children to top private schools. They basically have access to the best of everything. But there is an issue. Suzanne's parents are pretty strict, especially when it comes to her boyfriend. His name is Daniel. They think Daniel is a bad influence. They see him as lazy and not going anywhere in life. But Suzanne does not agree with them. She believes Daniel is fine. So in 2002, while her parents are away on vacation, she invites Daniel to stay at the family house. It is just the two of them there. No parents around, no rules being enforced. They start drinking a lot. They experiment with different drugs. They party like this for about a month. Then her parents return from their trip. They are extremely upset. They already dislike Daniel. Now he has basically been staying in their home. Suzanne refuses to cut him off. She wants him in her life. So she suggests something to her father. She asks him to buy her and Daniel an apartment so they can move out and live together. Her dad shuts that idea down immediately. He says he is not paying for her to live with someone he does not respect. He tells her if she wants to move out with Daniel, she will need to support herself. The problem is neither Suzanne nor Daniel has money. Suzanne is in college. Daniel spends his time building model airplanes for fun. Neither of them has a job. Most days they just hang out and get high. Suzanne does not want to break up with Daniel, so she starts thinking. She looks at the situation and realizes something. If her parents were gone, she would inherit part of their estate. It is worth around 17 million US dollars. On top of that, her father had opened 2 Swiss bank accounts in her name. Those accounts held about 10 million US dollars. If her parents died, she and Daniel would have access to that money. They would be rich. They could live however they wanted. So Suzanne and Daniel make a decision. They plan to kill her parents. They also decide to make it look like a robbery. For some reason, they choose Halloween night to do it. Halloween is not a major holiday in Brazil, but that is the night they pick. They bring in Daniel's brother to help. We will just call him brother. On Halloween night, Suzanne, Daniel, and brother meet up. They get high first. They smoke marijuana. They also inhale paint thinner and glue. After that, they feel ready. They go to Suzanne's house. Suzanne disables the security system from inside the house. She lets Daniel and brother in. Then she waits downstairs in the living room. Meanwhile, the two men go upstairs where her parents are asleep. They each have iron rods. They quietly enter the bedroom. Then they start attacking. They hit both parents repeatedly with the rods. Sadly, neither of her parents survives. After the attack, Suzanne, Daniel, and brother mess up the house to make it look like burglars broke in. They take about $7,000 in cash from a safe. Her parents kept US dollars in that safe. After that, they leave the house. To set up alibis, Suzanne and Daniel go to a motel and spend the night there. Brother goes to a fast food restaurant and stays there to create his own alibi. The next morning, Suzanne returns home and acts like she has just found the bodies. She calls the police. Officers arrive and begin investigating. Right away, they notice something. Suzanne seems very calm. She is not crying. She is not breaking down. She does not look shocked. She just stands there at the crime scene. That behavior stands out to the police. As they look around, they see that only cash was taken from the safe. Other valuable items were left behind. Then they find out the security system had been turned off from inside the house. That narrows down the suspects a lot. Still, they do not have direct proof against Suzanne, so they cannot arrest her yet. A few days later, a funeral is held for her parents. That same day is also Suzanne's 19th birthday. After the funeral, she throws herself a birthday party. At this point, it looks like Suzanne and Daniel might get away with it. They have alibis, they have a cover story. They are expecting to inherit a huge amount of money. Everything seems set. But then brother makes a big mistake. About a day after the murders, he buys a brand new motorcycle. People know he has always been broke. Suddenly, he is paying cash for a new bike using US dollars. This gets attention fast. Police start asking questions. They find out he is Daniel's brother. They bring him in for questioning. He panics almost immediately and confesses. He tells them about the murder. He is arrested. Daniel is arrested. Suzanne is arrested. Her mugshot is released, but things get even worse for Suzanne. While she is out of jail waiting for trial, she agrees to do television interviews. A Brazilian TV network attaches a microphone to her before filming. What she does not realize is that the microphone is already recording. Before the interview starts, it captures a private conversation between Suzanne and her lawyer. The lawyer is telling her how to act on camera. He tells her to cry on cue and appear emotional to gain sympathy. The interview airs on television, and the network includes the recorded conversation with her lawyer. Instead of feeling sorry for her, the public becomes angry. People see her preparing to fake emotions, and many become convinced she is guilty. Eventually, the case goes to trial. Brother is found guilty and receives 39 years in prison. Daniel is also found guilty and gets 40 years. Suzanne is found guilty as well and is sentenced to 40 years in prison.